Alright, hey guys, today we have the 2021 Mclaren GT that we're going to do a little review on. A little dusty. We had a haboob last night, which took out a lot of things. I saw online that somebody's roof had fallen off. It's crazy. This thing is super clean. I'm pretty sure this is the equivalent of an MP4 12C, so it's like an entry-level Mclaren. But honestly, for being able to buy one of these at like 130, 140,000 miles for like a couple years old, 10, 20,000 miles, sweet car. Like, this is super good entry supercar. And it looks sick. I mean, the black on black is definitely first choice. Love the wheels, the gray wheels. I love the doors, the butterfly doors go up like this, pretty sweet. This isn't, I will say, this is not a super easy car to get out of or into, but you know, when you buy a supercar, that's just luck of the draw. That's pretty much what you're getting yourself into. Today we're gonna do a little driving review, check it out, and see how it sounds and feels. And yeah, so let's jump in it. Oh. First off, it is not easy to get into, like I said. It's super tight space and very minimal though. Like, there's not a ton of buttons, as you can see. Door handle right here, we're gonna pull this down. And then for the start button, it's just right here. So you're gonna push it down, it'll start it. This car isn't super loud, so you don't get a crazy sounding, you know, V8. This does have a V8 engine, twin turbocharged, and it's, yeah, just super simple. Paddle shifters here for if you go in manual mode. And something that you'll notice that's kind of interesting is there's no park button. A lot of supercars don't have a park button actually. And so the way to put it into park is you actually put it into neutral and pull the parking brake. So we'll show that when we actually stop the car. But let's let it, I always like to start the car, let it, you know, warm up a little bit before we start driving it. Make sure that we don't cause any damage. You know, you hear about these people just starting supercars and kicking them into gear. I don't think that's very good for them. Gotta have them sit for a second, let the AC flow. I think it's a nice balming, I think it's only 100 today in Arizona. Summertime it gets up to like 120 is probably the high. Pretty crazy. Most people aren't used to that. I think we're good now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put into driver, click this button right here, and then we are going to click the parking brake, which is down here. We're gonna flick that. As you can see, the light went off, and now it should be good to drive. I'm gonna release my foot from the brake. I will say, after driving this, the brakes aren't really sensitive, so you kind of have to push them quite a bit. They're full carbon ceramic brakes, so they're not meant to be like super easy to use, but they are meant to pretty much stop the car if needed, like super powerful brakes for high speed. Right. So what we got a cop behind us. Hopefully it doesn't pull us over. Something you'll notice about this car is it doesn't feel really fast. Like, it's not super quick unless you put it into sport mode. Like right now we're going, you know, 35 miles an hour and we're not accelerating super hard, but even if you do accelerate hard in like standard mode, it doesn't like go really fast. For some reason I really did think this cop was gonna pull us over, which would be kind of funny.
That would be a good video.
I know, that would be a good video. So I'm taking left here. When you're driving this, it feels pretty low to the ground, but not as low as, I feel like the lowest car that I've been in. I don't know, they all feel pretty similar. Okay, tire pressure low. This, you know, this is interesting. That's definitely season based or like temperature based, because we checked it. It's actually not low, but if it changes between like 1 or 2 psi from where it's at right now, then it will have this light on. But what's funny about it is the tire in this is spelled wrong. It's T-Y-R-E, unless that's actually the way to spell it, which is super crazy. So we already checked that. So yeah, the tire pressure is definitely good on this. I think it actually may be a sensor, so we're gonna have that inspected later today. Have a company come out and possibly replace it. But yeah, car feels pretty low to the ground. It handles well. It feels kind of like pretty stuck to the ground in taking turns, which is nice. I mean, when you have a low car like this, it's pretty standard to feel kind of stuck to the ground. It definitely handles well. But we're gonna put it into sport mode and give it a little bit of juice and see how it feels. So the way to put it into sport is there's these modes down here, which I'll show you when we stop. But it's not really easy to do. Like when I first put it into sport mode, it took me a while to figure it out. Actually, my brother had to show me. All right, so we're gonna do a little acceleration here just to see how quick it is off the jump. It's gonna turn green. Yeah, definitely has some speed when it's taking off. Ooh, gotta watch out. There's a branch in the road. It's a big storm last night. So I got trees and branches and roofs. So when you have it in sport mode, it revs up to just over 8,000 RPMs, which honestly is plenty. And I don't really like it to get that high. It kind of makes me nervous. I typically accelerate like, you know, if I'm in manual, maybe 6,000 or 7,000 RPMs. But when it gets to like above 7, it just seems like it wants to shift. There's some cars that you can accelerate higher and you can just hear the high pitch revving, and it just, I don't know. I know it's probably not too bad for the car. I'm not, you know, mechanical expert at a lot of the stuff, but I don't know, it just makes me kind of nervous. This is interesting. So it has a map on here of the car, and it shows you how quick you're going, which is interesting. I wonder if that's wheelbase, so like how many times the wheels are rotating, or if that is like GPS based, like looking at your location and seeing how quickly you're pinging or moving. I'm curious. Touchscreen, it's kind of nice. It's actually pretty like interactive touchscreen. Actually works pretty well. I've actually never used this before, so we're gonna go to our address. Huh? Yeah, this touchscreen is pretty nice. I didn't even know you had a map. It's kind of cool. There it is. I think this is our address. All right. It's very good. Take it. As soon as you let off, kind of sounds like a blow off a little bit, like when you're letting off of the turbos. Now this is a sweet car. This obviously, any supercar in my opinion isn't really a daily, but it's kind of like a fun weekend car, date night kind of thing. Honest, if I were to choose one daily, probably a Wraith or a Ghost. Which one's? I don't remember which one the 4-door is, but I probably want 4-door Rolls Royce, just pure comfort. But this is like a fun weekend, you know, go hang out kind of car, but definitely not spacious. I mean, you know, you're not going to fly into town and rent one of these and put a bunch of luggage in it and try to carry it around and do a big road trip or something. You got to be very careful with this on the speed bumps. Super simple. It has like, you can get this for like quick access to the AC. You can click this for quick access to the navigation, quick access to sound, turn off sound. So it's pretty minimal on the controls, which is fine. Like I think some brands or companies will overcomplicate how many buttons there needs to be, which I don't think is very necessary. So I think they did a pretty good job on this. I like it more than, and it's hard for me to tell the difference just being in this right now. I haven't been in an MP4 in a while, but I remember our last place we rented cars out of had one, and I remember for some reason I just really hated it. I don't remember why, but I like this a lot more. It feels more futuristic, I kind of want to say. But let's look at one more thing I want to look at is the trunk and frunk space, which, this is funny, somebody brought this up the other day. They said that the trunk is supposed to fit a bag of golf clubs, which it actually does. The guy that told me that had his clubs with him, and he put them in, they fit, which is crazy to think that this little tiny trunk, which practically has no space, can fit golf clubs, but it can, which is unbelievable. And I don't even know where the engine would be on this. I'm assuming it's underneath all that. Huh. All right, let's look at the front space. This is actually pretty good size. I've seen some people fit some big bags in this front area. With it, you get a little smoke plug-in thing. You get your wheel repair kit, and that's pretty much it. So overall, I think this is probably a really good like entry supercar, especially if you have like a lower budget, and it's fun. I mean, I can't imagine having any more fun in a 750 or 720 versus this. This is a great car.